So this in memoriam page.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I only actually recorded songs that I had still downloaded to my console. And so thus I could view in this editor view.
Yeah.
And so this is X Not Bass.
That's pretty
And they were in a rough chronological order, so this is the first one of the earliest ones that I still have saved on my console.
Damn, that fucking drums is unforgiving, man.
Oh yeah, all drums are ash. You're going to notice that. I get better with them over time, but all of the drum tracks are terrible.
All it take is one fewer hi-hat note, Grant, and it would be a doable chart.
Like, I didn't play drums until after but really, I didn't play drums until I played Rock Band, which I played after pretty much everything here. But right here is an interesting trick. Where you notice on rhythm, it's playing between the lead and keyboard parts, because I didn't really have much use for rhythm in this song, so you basically set, I'm not sure if you can actually set individual track volumes in this version of Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Mix, there are two versions, there's this and GHMix 2.0, and this and Guitar Hero Metallica and Guitar Hero Van Halen and Smash Hits, which I didn't make any new songs in, all share GHMix 1.0. Although Metallica, Van Halen, and Smash Hits have a slightly more updated version than this, which is Guitar Hero World Tour. This is the original version, at least on Wii. It was always better on other consoles.
Of course.
They had much better sound effects, and
as I would expect.
And a big one was that anyway, it's just rhythm is like pretty much set. I'm not sure if it's to 0 volume, and it uses palm mutes so that you really can't hear it at all. I'm not talking about it as much as the individual songs. Like, that had a cool part in the middle of it where the lead guitar was using palm mute, and it produces a really cool sound in the little interlude bit that I don't really utilize anywhere else, and it sounds really cool, and I probably should have, because it sounds neat. It's like, it's neat. But this is GHMix 1.0.
Classic tune.
The main difference between this and Metallica, essentially, is that Guitar Hero Metallica introduced the ability to use triplets.
Oh, that seems pretty basic.
Yeah, that's the thing with these sort of fun little music sequencers, is that they're only fun because of their limitations, but some of the limitations piss you off endlessly. And that was a big one. So, like, as soon as you'll hear on HevyMetalMario, which we'll play eventually, like, what the fuck is this drum track? Like, this is, like, I honestly didn't know what drums were, so I just did, like, I did usually some rough following of, like, a MIDI file that I was using to make the song to begin with.
I remember you asked me, it's like, you're like, Preston, how do you read drum music? I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like, it's really hard to read drum music and a MIDI file, because it's just, wherever it is on the staff, it doesn't really translate.
Use your ears, Grant, your sense of rhythm that John doesn't have.
Huh?
That John doesn't have, because John's fucking rhythmically deaf. Sorry.
Sure. Like, what is this? Like, I don't know what the toms are. Oh, this is the Koopa Bros theme. I should have said that earlier. This is the paper. This was pretty much my greatest accomplishment. Like, when reading up on this video and like trying to get a chronological order of the songs, like, I was browsing my old GameFAQs posts where I kept a pretty accurate log of all of this shit. And God, it was an asshole too. Damn, I hate my 13-year-old self. But I repeatedly talked about this song as my greatest achievement of all time. Which it's actually, I think, my first one that had the drums at the max of 1,200 notes.
Nice.
And I do that with some other songs. Actually, it's more rare on Guitar Hero World Tour. World Tours, or GHMix 1.0 in general, actually has a higher note limit than GHMix 2.0, which pisses me off.
Why?
It's dumb. So this version of GHMix had a maximum timer of 3 minutes, so this is 2:59 as you can see.
Pushing it to the max.
And each individual note track had a max of 1,200 notes. The way GHMix 2.0 works is, at least on Wii, these caps were high. On Wii, it was 5 minutes in Guitar Hero 5, GHMix 2.0 Original Edition, which is the only one I ever touched. Band Hero also had it, although I think it had the same limitations.
Really?
And then Guitar Hero 6, or World...
Oh, it ends there? All right.
Yeah, it's just snares for... And this is Shadow Mario. By the way, the order of the last medley... I'll finish my point really quick, but the order of the last medley went the title screen theme to Thousand Year Door, Roadport Sewers, Koopa Bros.
And what was that?
Oh, no. It wasn't Koopa Bros. In between Roadport Sewers and Koopa Bros is the battle theme to Paper Mario 1.
Okay.
Oh, this is another example of palm muting.
Oh, okay.
On the second bits of those, it's a palm mute, and that sounds cool. And then
Does it just make it staccato?
sort of, it just makes it gives it a completely different sound effect. And then the last song after Koopa Bros is Shadow Queen. It's really a random, like, I think it's just like all the songs that I really liked, but I like a lot of songs from Paper Mario. I made a lot more, like, down the line. Like, I made Huff and Puff and the Crystal King theme.
Bloody, what was it? MontyMoleAttak theme?
Oh yeah, that's also in this game.
That was the good shit, man.
That was so proud of that one too. That was another one I really liked. This song is ass.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of the worst ones we're going to see, in all honesty. Like, what is that drum track? Jesus.
Oh, God.
Although this is an electronic drum kit. Like, normally, I use the real sounding drum kits, and this is one of the few songs that I went with an electronic kit on.
Oh, that's a curious ending.
Oh, this is MontyMoleAttak, which repeats a million times. But I love the bass track on it. Like, as soon as I heard the bass track on the song, or really, I was browsing VG Music, which is my MIDI archive of where I get all my songs anyway. And I was just browsing Paper Mario, and I was like, it's really challenging. I have a video on my YouTube channel of me trying to play it because no one had recorded it, and I was mad, so I made my own shitty recording of it.
Have you recorded your other songs?
Yes.
Nice.
People with actual capture cards, and then I got my own capture card and recorded this and edited this because I wanted like a nice archive of all my music and shit.
What a surreal experience it must be seeing another man perform your music.
Well, it was sort of like I'd ask them to.
Oh,
Once I found someone, I always stumbled across people on YouTube. Like, oh, who was my first like person that I regularly posted videos? I came across some old names that I completely forgot about, and they're still on YouTube. Some of them. One of my first ones was Nigi Hyuga or something. He was a really big fan of Dream Theater. I remember that.
Should give him some shout-outs, Grant. Tell him you love him.
Oh, I love so many people from my old Game Facts days.
I made like 4 posts on that bloody website. You're like, listen, check this out. And I'm like, oh, this is cool.
I remember Darknet and Shredder25. Shredder25, it's like, we're BFFs, man. Like, if you're watching this, Shredder, like, I miss you, bro. Remember you, like, got a girlfriend and played Call of Duty? These are random facts. And he made the song called Shredder Duel that I was rereading my posts.
That.
You remember Shredder Duel?
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember nothing about it. I remember.
It's a song that was highly rated, and thinking back to it, it's really not that musically interesting. It has like,
though?
huh?
Is it a ball?
It's an original song, which like, and it sounded pretty cool for an original song. Eventually, like the thing is with this creator is it was so many people that knew nothing about music going into it, so they rated a lot of shit highly regardless. And that was one that was really highly rated because it was really fun to play. And it sounded pretty cool too. Like it was actually like, because the way composing music in this thing works is so bad because you have 5 notes and you have to like fit it to your own scale, and you can use it. Ooh, this is Heavy Metal Mario. Point is, it was bad. I keep going on so many tangents, but this song in specific, this is Mario Minor by Power Glove, and I remade this in Guitar Hero 5. But prior to that, this actually was my first like awakening with how drum charts work. Well, because I originally had this song pretty much, it looked like a mirror image of the drum track because I was following a MIDI, and I was like, I went according to like highest to lowest note as I usually do. And so I had essentially, I have a video of this. I found someone's old video. It looks terrible, but you can see, and it sounds awful too. But I just thought it like, oh, that's how it's supposed to sound, because I was an idiot. But it actually charted all the snares to the green tom and all the hi-hats to rides. It was basically like that, but a mirror image, and it sounded so bad. And so eventually I got so many complaints that like, that's not how it's supposed to be, bro. And so I was like, I went back and like actually figured out how drums work. And this is my first experience with that. And also you can hear a lot of very much not triplets, but things that were supposed to be triplets. Like this is supposed to be triplets. This is supposed to be triplets. There's not supposed to be a gap there.
Yeah, you're cheating with 16s.
Yeah, it's
you only do so much.
And so that's why I fixed it with, and then I also ran into song limit problems because I had to cut so I had to cut a lot of shit from this song because it's like a 5-minute song.
Yeah.
And I ended up also having to cut, coming full circle to what I was originally talking about, I also had to cut shit from the Guitar Hero 5 version of this song because of the note limit. So the note limit in the original Wii version of Guitar Hero 5 is 5,000 notes total. And whereas here it's 1,200 notes. So theoretically, in total, you could have 6,000 notes in this, the older version, and it pissed me off to no end. Also, they advertised the maximum song length as being 10 minutes, which it was in the 360 and PS3 versions. But as I found out when I was making my first song in Guitar Hero 5, which was Stairway to Heaven, and I was doing it really accurately. Granted, this is back, also, I didn't even know Stairway to Heaven. I was just like, oh, it's a really popular song. And I found a MIDI of it because this was before you could just like go onto YouTube and find any song you ever wanted. Oddly enough, that's more prevalent now that there are harsher measures in place.
Oh God, please.
Also, this shit.
Jesus.
That shit that was supposed to be in triplets. Oh, do I have the mushroom sound effect in here? Oh, there's supposed to be a mushroom sound effect at that last half measure. That is in the newer version, and it sounds really sick, actually. And the keyboard is actually played by a proper lead guitar sound, so it sounds a lot better.
As you were?
That was a really good song.
That was pretty good.
Oh, I bothered with verse names. That was a thing you could do. You could like set lighting scenarios, so you could say like intro, verse, slow, and it would change the lighting for you. I rarely ever bothered with this, but this was the very first song that I made. And like Heavy Metal Mario, only much worse. The first version of it was abysmal. This is all original drums. You can see my sense. I still hadn't fixed that. But when I originally made this song, I knew how to read sheet music because I took piano, but I read it all incorrectly. So all the notes were wrong. I was looking for a version of it on YouTube. I couldn't find it. Like, it was so old that, and then I finally, after doing a lot more songs, getting more familiar with things, I changed it so that it was accurate. This is pretty accurate, but I remade it over this entire song. And I had this leftover space, so I filled it with this weird interlude that I made up.
Okay.
I had like a 4-measure gap because I was that bad at reading music. That I just filled with that.
That's funny as hell.
Now this song is actually alright. If I remember, there's a video by someone named Metal Smasher 86. I remember because like it's introduced with something off the Painkiller album by Judas Priest. It's like it's a cool guitar intro. But I remember that having like over 20,000 views at some point, and I was like, holy damn, I don't know what it is now. Because he was like a really big Guitar Hero player, apparently.
Really? Huh.
Other YouTubers that I remember, Nigi Hyuga, unfortunately, this is back when Best of GH Tunes Wii existed. I don't know what happened to that channel. I was a moderator of it. That was a YouTube channel called Best of GH Tunes Wii, and essentially stole videos from other things, that as long as they were recorded with a capture card. And it was based off of another channel, Best of GH Tunes, which I think still exists. That was purely Xbox.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think it had other stuff too. But we made one just for Wii because we had a pretty big community on Wii. I don't know why. Also, I'll note on this song, this is actually based off of an earlier song I did called Just Kid Icarus, which was really bad. But the version of it was better than in here. It was actually just the Skyworld theme. Or no, the Overworld theme. This is the Underworld. It's the Overworld theme. It's the second level of Kid Icarus, but it's the one that's most recognized. Like, they use it a lot. They call it Skyworld in Brawl because it just sounds good.
Yeah.
It's way too fast here, which is unfortunate. It sounds like ass, but it also has triplets in it.
Can you have tempo changes?
No. Triplets, triplets, triplets. Those aren't triplets. But this song is sick. It's just way too fast in this version. Every other song in this medley is really good, though. As from what I can remember.
Do you have the Grim Reaper thing?
No, I don't have the Grim Reaper thing.
That sounds fun.
But this was, I think, like, the third song I made.
Yeah.
I have in the beginning, I remember I made Bowser's Wrath, which was shit. Mario Ruins, which was also inspired by Brawl. You know the Mario Ruins theme? It's from Super Mario Land 2. I made that, but really shitty. And then I made Kid Icarus, which actually sounded alright. And from what I remember reading somewhere on GameFAQs that apparently it was featured in some magazine. It was featured in like a South American or European magazine talking about this game and the GHMix thing. It was...
which song?
My original version of Kid Icarus, which I could not find on YouTube. And I was disappointed because
it's been lost to time?
It's been lost to time.
What a shame.
I do have some videos that I don't have original copies of this that we're going to be watching that I've downloaded from YouTube.
Okay.
And I'll probably just rehost under my own, because that's the thing. Niggy Hyuga, to get to my point, eventually started posting like live Dream Theater concert videos and got his channel banned, and with it, a lot of my video stuff. And that's the thing with like relying on other people to host your videos. Actually, wait, back, just talking about GH stuff. One of my friends, Weejay, or as you know, he now goes by Million. I know, like that was his name, and he's like, this is why I had to change my name to something else after that. Or it was like Waluigi at some points, but at least on Guitar Hero it was Weejay, who I still talk to occasionally, and he's pretty awesome.
Neat.
He's Canadian.
Oh, this song.
This song actually is actually after I had already made a lot of songs in Guitar Hero Metallica. So after that last song, Guitar Hero Metallica came out, I used its editor because it had triplets.
Yeah.
So this is actually the last one of this set.
Okay.
But I made a bet with Fiery Heart, which is another internet user, who also cracked the code onto how to host multiple songs. Because you actually used to have a max of 5 songs that you could host at a time, and it was a bitch. And he found a glitch that enabled you to just bypass it entirely and upload up to 50 songs. And he made a shit ton of songs.
Were they just cool with that? Were there no repercussions? Did no one care enough?
No, they sometimes banned songs. Like, when this game was first released, they banned a lot of songs that were obviously just copies of things, and then they stopped caring. And I came in after Christmas, which was when they stopped caring. But I came back to do this song, and he also made his own version of Bramble Blast, and we competed. And his version pretty much was generally agreed to be more fun than mine, but mine was more accurate.
I see.
Like, that's totally unrealistic, but this is actually pretty cool. You're gonna see a really insane drum fill soon.
Okay.
But like, you'll remember it from Brawl. You're like, damn, and it's charted here. I'm sorry, I'm waiting in anticipation. It's coming up. Jesus. What the fuck is that? I forget. Anyway, Fiery Heart cracked the code, and when we made this song against each other, this wasn't the last song that I made in a bet, and like someone else also made. But we'll get to that in the Guitar Hero Metallica video. But yeah, Guitar Hero.
What was the glitch?
Huh?
What was the glitch for bypassing?
I forget entirely.
Really?
Like
Was it something like trivial?
I don't know. Like the servers are all down now, which is why I'm making this project.
For history.
For history. And fame.